Today's February 11th.
That's a little hot.
All right. So
Go ahead.
today is February 11th. This is the very first episode of the podcast. Ed's got our money.
Yes.
Ed's got my money.
Ed's got my money.
Let's take that over. Today's
We're not going
February.
to edit this. It's just,
Today's the very. Let me start from the beginning. It's the 11th.
No,
Today's February 11th, and this is the very first episode of Ed's Got My Money, the podcast. It's an investment podcast. Ed is leading us through this. Let's go and introduce ourselves.
Sure.
I'll start. I'm Jonesy. I'm a comedian, and I'm broke.
That's funny.
I'm David Fickus. I'm also a comedian, and I'm very curious about the stock market.
And I'm Ed Schoen, a contractor and a novice investor that is starting to really get his grip on investing.
Okay, so let's go back historically why we're here in the first place. And now we all play on a softball team together.
That's right.
A championship softball team. For those of you who cannot see us, there's a huge trophy next to us. And Ed is our pitcher, and Jonesy is our shortstop, and I'm the outfielder and other things. Our executive producer, Jason Brown.
Jason.
And Holly is here too, our catcher.
Holly.
Yeah, it's very much a softball get together.
Yes, but so we were celebrating Jason Brown's birthday, and Ed went on what we like to call
A rant.
a rant or a spasm.
Yeah. I was,
A stock rant.
Yeah, he was talking about stocks. I know shit about it. You know shit about it.
I know nothing.
and I've been watching stock markets for 30 plus years.
And then-
Every day of my life.
Really?
Yes.
Every
Every day that the stock market was open, I would be watching it and keeping an eye on it, following things and trying to figure it all out.
so
I recall when Ed was speaking about the stock market, he was so damn excited he pulled me in, and I normally don't have an interest in that kind of boring shit, but I was so into it. And the first thing that came to my mind
Everyone
was there was kind of a little crowd around him, and he pulled us all in, and my first thought was, this guy has something
about
about
what
the way
it
he
is.
talks to it. And
What
that's
it
why
is
we're
is
here.
Most people don't realize the real opportunity that everyday average people like ourselves have. Nobody can control what we do in the stock market but us. We have total control of it. And that's the beauty of it.
I'm intrigued and confused all at once.
So you're saying a guy like me that has defaulted on a student loan this is for me still?
Well, so what I would tell anybody that's new to it and try to figure out what kind of opportunity there is to go and do some research on some of the stocks in their price.
I don't want to do research. That's why you're here.
Well, then you would have to hire me as your financial advisor.
I'm going to give you $500. I'm already hiring you.
Oh, $500. That's a
So
good
yeah,
start.
okay. So let's get to the concept. The concept was Jonesy. It was a whole crew of softball players that were excited about Ed's enthusiasm and his way his face was working, and we decided that we were going to give him some money to invest for us because
Right.
we were comfortable with Ed having our money, and we decided that $500 was like, if we gave you $500, could you show us how that's a wise thing to do?
To give me the $500?
Well,
yes.
I already trust him implicitly with my $500. I'm curious to see what he does with it because,
Well, number one, what I would have you
wanna
do
buy a Vespa.
is open up your own account so I wouldn't have to pay the taxes
Okay.
on the gains I made
Absolutely. So where do I open up my own account?
Yeah, tell
well-
us where we start. So
Yeah.
imagine I don't know how to buy stocks at all.
Well,
Imagine the listeners don't know
If
shit.
you want an
about it.
online brokerage account, discount broker. And
Where's
ideally,
yours? Where's
Mine
your
is
stuff?
TD Ameritrade. I've been with them for over 20 plus years.
Now,
Okay.
does that mean you have a guy over there that you call when you
No,
want to buy
I
a
do
stock?
everything myself. I don't take advice from nobody.
You don't need another person to do this.
Nothing. It's all online on an app. Boom, boom.
On
5 seconds. I bought a stock.
On
Okay.
your phone, just
Yes.
by pushing buttons.
Yes.
On your phone.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I brought $500 in loose change, and I don't know how to put that into the phone.
Here it is.
It's-
Well, you.
yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who are not seeing the visual,
You do need to send the
that's
brokerage
so
account your
much.
money.
this is literally a huge, oversized vodka
It's going
jar.
to cost 20% on that.
Wow.
It'll be 20% more if you ship that. If you have to ship
Oh my
that
God.
to
No,
the
I'm not
brokerage house,
shipping this.
it's going to cost you
I
20%.
got a thing for the bank, and you put it in there, and then you got to count it, and then you don't go to that Coinstar bullshit where they take like 20% of it or whatever.
They
This
take,
is my hard
8 or 9% there.
They
I
take
believe,
104% of it. It's horrible.
Oh, speaking of which, so when you purchase a stock, when you use Ameritrade, they charge you for this service? You pay a
Yes.
yearly
So
fee?
Ameritrade, they used to be. They used to be a little more, but they've come down to $7 a trade, which is amazing. I know that,
what's a trade?
A trade is just making a purchase or a sale of a stock.
So walk me through this a little bit. So we sign up for Ameritrade. We put our $500 in Ameritrade, right. And they charge us for that first transaction?
No, there's no transaction fee for that whatsoever.
Okay, so
the transaction comes when you make an actual purchase of a stock.
Okay, so then we're in the pool.
Yes.
Now, once we're swimming in the
Basically
pool,
a savings account. Sort of.
What? Okay, so we have a savings account, and we get to see it, and every day it's going up and down depending on what you're investing in, or what I'm investing, or what you're telling me to invest in.
Correct. There will be ups and downs, obviously. Yes.
So should we pool this together and like make 1,000 and like me and you are in this together?
I'll tell you what you shouldn't do. No, you shouldn't do that because number one, you're going to have to pay taxes on any gains that you have, and you want it to be in your name.
Okay.
So you wouldn't do that. You would open up your own account for yourself. And then, of course, if you have a loved one, put their name on in case you become rich.
Thanks for bringing that up, Ed.
Now, I had some friends of mine who were kind of nerds, the kind of guys that invest in Bitcoin and all this shit.
Yeah, that's like episode 3.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying let's talk about Bitcoin. I'm saying they were talking about an app that had free trades on it. They use to make trades.
I looked into that.
Did you look into that?
I did look into it. And you know what I found out about that is that there's only so many stocks available that you can buy through them. So, in other words, they give you a list of stocks that you can get, and a lot of them I couldn't. If you were looking at the stocks that I would have recommended in the past, you couldn't even buy them. They're very limited, and I would say absolutely not. Get a full brokerage house. Your TD Ameritrade is perfect. There's other ones out there, Scottrade, but actually TD Ameritrade just bought them out. So
now, if you have shitty credit, can you still have a TD Ameritrade account?
As long as you have cash to put in there, you can have an account. Yes.
Jones, you have shitty.
But if you owe the IRS,
pretty big.
They're going to
What
come
is your
after
credit score?
ass.
Is it weird to talk about your credit score?
No, I'm not. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't know what it is though.
Oh.
Now check this out. This is something that's really interesting. That this might
bad?
be getting a little bit too forward ahead, but
200's bad. Yeah, 200's bad.
Maybe I'm 300 then.
Oh boy, yeah, that's not good.
If you put in like 2,500 minimum and keep a balance of that, you can get a margin account, which means you can borrow money at a very low rate.
I'm so glad we're recording this because I am not taking notes.
That's a little further down the line.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
But that's fascinating. I had no idea. Is that what you do?
Oh, yeah. I actually have a day trading account.
Damn.
So it allows me even a lot more margin so I can do some quick trades and make a few $100
It's like being verified on Twitter.
Yeah. So let's. So are you comfortable telling us how much? Wait, executive producer Jason wanted to say something. You can peanut gallery this shit. That's fine.
Am I hiding my?
No, just keep your hand down. You block the camera.
Blocking the camera. Oh, that's exciting.
Shoot,
Whatever.
that's great.
And you're talking into the mic.
My hand does other things too.
Oh God. Next week.
I knew it would get
going with that
raunchy. with Ed
Okay,
on the,
so
on the show.
Are you comfortable telling us how much you have in your world, in your Ameritrade?
Oh yeah, I can give you a little bit of background.
Like what? How does it fluctuate? How much are you making in this with your genius brain?
Let me just give you a little background. I've been watching the stock market for 30 plus years and doing some trades here and there, and then I'd had some money at some point, and sometimes I didn't because of my business running out of cash. So. This is the first time this cycle that I finally have a little bit of money to put in there and start proving myself. And I tripled my portfolio in a month and a half on the pot stocks that I've been talking about.
Okay, so pot stocks. We're going to get to that. By the way, I'm pretty sure downstairs they just rented a new space, and I've been smelling a little bit. I'm like, I think maybe they're growing something a little downstairs.
Now, when he says, when Ed says the pot stocks I've been talking about, what he's referring to is at softball, he's been mentioning pot stocks.
Right. Yeah. And the reason for that is because, well,
it's legal.
Yes, it's just become legal, which it was like it's a no-brainer.
Right.
It really is. In some in every world, it should be a no-brainer that pot stocks are going to do good. Now, most of the time, when there are uncertainties in the market, it's terrible. But with the uncertainty in the pot stocks, it's actually good because nobody knows who the winners
on your mic, Ed.
Nobody knows who the winners are going to be.
Okay.
So that benefits you in the fact that almost all of them will go up at the same time instead of just picking a few that you might get lucky with.
Okay, so
most of them will go up together.
Ooh, that's one of your philosophies.
So you think pot stocks
are
the key?
Very often.
How much of your investment is in pot stocks right now?
Well, right now because I invested all of it in pot stocks.
Is it okay?
I had 11,000.
11,000.
Yes, I had 11,000 back in November. And
why do you need our money? I'm just kidding.
Well, I want everybody's money.
That's right. Let's get more money.
Technically, that's what you're doing. You're taking money from other people in a sense.
Okay, so you have $11,000 that you put into pot stocks, and then where did that go? Like how that's that you.
So I'll give you a little idea of how I do it, and so I won't just go out and buy a stock. I'll start looking at their history. And then I'll start stalking them to get to know them better.
Stalking the stock.
You mean like you call them up or you smoke their shit?
Wait, that might be our that might be a hashtag, guys. Well, guys, listen, Ed stalks the stock. That's some good hashtagging shit right there, right?
Yeah, but you missed the joke.
What was your joke?
Forget it.
You have to become a stalker.
I was working on marketing, Jonesy. I was working on marketing.
Stock. Okay. I feel like we're getting very specific. I think we need to give the listeners and me. I'm an idiot. I need a very.
With that credit score.
Yeah, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves as far as
I want
understanding the
you
stock.
You have an overall kind of philosophy that you could break down as much more simple.
I'll say
about how you approach not just pot stocks, but just the whole idea of it.
Let's do this. If you're a person that wants to be a business owner,
I am.
Right.
It's terrible.
But if you look at most businesses, and 80% of all new businesses in 6 months fail miserably. And some businesses cost a couple $100,000 just to get involved with. In the stock market, you can change a business model in 5 seconds. If you don't like Starbucks anymore, you're done with them with no, your exit strategy.
Screw them.
Yeah,
boom.
It takes a second.
I'm
going to Coffee
button
Bean
on your app.
A pot owner to to a medical device owner to Google, whatever.
Well, I want to get in the sex doll business.
Oh my God! Did you hear the thing about the sex dolls? Like everyone's going crazy about the Shape of Water sex dolls. They're making all these. They're making all these sex dolls that are like the movie The Shape of Water, the dude, and they're fucking selling like hotcakes. We should get in on that.
You can design a sex doll that resembles your dead spouse.
You have a dead spouse?
No, I don't. But I'm just saying if you had
God.
If you had a dead spouse,
okay, we're
you could
taking
get
a turn here.
doll.
We're taking
Well,
a turn.
let me give you some things that you shouldn't do. Never, ever
Kill your spouse.
And
let's
have
that.
I'm
Number
not
one.
saying
never.
spouse,
You
I'm
can
saying-
stalk a stock.
Okay, hold on.
Listen.
Hot mic.
Although
We
the
knew this
spouse
was happening
doesn't come
with
with
Ed.
a mute button, which is
You
kind
can
of
stalk a stock.
the sex doll does.
But you should never, ever, ever fall in love with a stock.
Oh.
Once you do that, you're history.
I want to put romantic music to that moment.
Basically, it's like a stripper.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So stocks are strippers.
Actually, it might be. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what a stripper. I don't know what a stripper is. I've heard about them, but it's true.
Jonesy says he's it looks like he's a stripper.
Okay.
over
So you go to the club with your $500.
Yes.
And I don't know about you guys, but I've never made money at the strip club.
But
You're doing
there
it wrong.
I mean,
are
I'm doing.
people-
Oh, really? You've made money? You've cashed out? You have
So,
cashed out?
You got to bring a bag of
Holly
blow.
is saying she has, but that's because she used to work at one. She's a catcher of all sorts.
The key to making money at a strip club is to bring drugs to the strip club. Everybody knows that.
This is going way off topic. I want my dad to listen to this.
No,
He's
let's
with
get-
Ameritrade.
We got off track because you were saying, okay, your basic philosophy, the easiest stuff. I mean, not getting into pot stocks now, but like your basic,
Yeah, I mean, we could get so
your philosophy
deep.
of investment.
Guys, we have like
'Cause,
18 seasons into this, so we can take it
For
slow.
instance, I'm like, hey, I like this stock because I eat there, and Dave's like, I like this stock because I wear that clothing. And
Right.
But what you were
Right.
saying earlier, you didn't give us details, but you're like, no, you need to get rid of that mindset. Here's
Right.
where you need to begin.
I'm a person that believes in buying a stock. Let's just say that stocks go up and they go down. So you have all these traders on the sideline that trades every day, and all they do is sit by their computer and they wait. All they do is wait for the next rally in a stock, and it gets on their radar screen and they all jump in. And that's why you see these major moves in 1 or 2 days, and next thing you know, you think, oh, I'm going to get rich, and they start dwindling it back down because of all the people that got in a little late.
Yeah.
They all start bailing all of a sudden, and you'll see these stocks bounce like this, and you're like, wait a minute, how can it go up 50% in 1 or 2 days and then be right back down where it was? And that's where you have to be very nimble in how
I
to
just
approach
realized
it.
a couple things. One, there's going to be an episode where we actually look at this and we can watch the numbers and you can kind of point this out and that's great.
Sure.
And 2, you can explain the ending of Trading Places to me. And I'm excited about that because I don't totally know how. I know
It's beef jerky time.
I know that orange juice was the thing. It was all about orange juice and it screwed over the what are the characters? What are the old guys? It got them. I can't remember. Mortimer and Bryce should be able to yell that in. Happy birthday, Bryce. Okay,
Now,
so
when you say the stock does this rally, are you talking about penny stocks or like these little
All of
ones,
them.
these unknown?
All
You're
stocks,
saying all
all
of them.
stocks? Okay.
Even major stocks do this.
Let me give you an example of what stocks tend to always do. They tend to, all they do is traders and long-term holders or whatever try to push a stock up as far as they can go, and then they in reverse try to push it down. So it's just it's a battle between buying and selling.
But how can you push
Constantly.
down a stock that has
Well, it's
major establishment already? How does a bunch of
Because-
traders push down an AT&T stock?
Let me give you an example. If you've got millions of investors and there's been people in there that need to cash out because of their margin accounts are too high
Right.
or whatever.
If
There
that
could
all
be
happens
many
at once,
different-
right?
Yeah. So there could be, well, that's what makes the market accelerate down. But what I'm trying to say is just what you have today is not what the guy investing in today have tomorrow. So you may be cashing out for certain reasons. So you need to have it. You need to let go of it. So that is where
So it's basically moving it around, and it's gambling.
all about-
Is it gambling? I mean,
it's a form of
you're
gambling
gambling
but
on
it's
the
a-
success of the whole, right? Of a company.
I actually throw. I believe it or not, this is where I'm so different from a lot of other investors. Is that
You're
I
different than a lot of investors.
Just about the good news or knowing about their income and stuff like that.
Right.
I look at price movement and their behavior. When I stalk them, I find the behavior of them, and I start to notice when I was talking about the ups and downs, I try to buy a stock after it's tried to go down so hard and won't go down anymore. I know there's only one more direction to go.
He just
So you
said it's
don't-
going to go down so hard, and how do you fucking pass that up?
So you're looking at that graph only.
It's all about the TNA, the tops,
The
and
tits
the bottoms.
and the ass? We're back in the strip club? Why is this so
No.
dirty?
Tops and bottoms.
Oh, sorry. That's so much cleaner.
And then you got to also be really aware of the legs.
So, Ed, would
The
you
legs
say...
up or the legs down?
You're serious?
Okay.
Yes. Oh,
Are
absolutely.
you
Oh, okay.
are
So
you
now we
more of
get
a
off
bottom?
track Because
Huh?
Sorry.
you were saying how most of these traders they push around these stocks.
It's every
And
day.
so you're
All they're
missing-
doing is
and
pushing
you're-
up, pushing down. That's
and
it.
unless you're one of these guys, you're coming late to the party. It sounds like.
People act on emotion, and that's
Yeah.
that's if you act on emotion alone, or if you don't understand the psychology of the market. If you can act on emotion, if you understand the psychology of it, and then there's so much. There's so deep to get into this, but
Go deep, Ed.
I'm not going that deep.
Uh,
Not yet.
You got on the mic real sexy though when you said that.
Keep it to your. This is your philosophy. Keep it to your philosophy. Let us know what's going.
I
you
don't
learned.
care
You learned
about
this where? Where did you learn
anything,
this?
By watching. Well, one of the key books that I've read was How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill, who owns the Investors
That's
Business
good. That's
Daily.
a plug. We got a sponsor. We got to
Oh,
reach
he's-
out to Billy
that-
O'Neill.
He has been the one that my philosophy was built from, and I don't do everything like he does, but I've learned how to read charts from that because charts are a very important thing.
Sounds like you're all up.
to use.
Okay,
You're
so
all
we're
up
gonna
in the
have to
charts.
We're gonna have to do a whole episode on that, guys. We said that this was going to be about a 20-minute podcast, and we're like approaching the end right now because Jesus,
Oh my goodness.
I feel like this is a softball game. Like we have like one inning left.
Okay,
So we got to get specific real quick with our marching orders and what we're going to do, right?
Okay, first of all, yes. So, do we have goals that we want?
Well, he's
Do
got.
you have a goal for your money? You want $500 by the end of the year? What do you want?
There's only one goal
I want to
that
make
you should have.
way more than $500. Like that's my.
Yeah, well, sure, but
And that's
we're
not to
gonna
lose your
I
money.
think.
Okay, here's a goal: fix your credit, pay off your student loans.
Well, I
Right?
don't- can we?
How much?
I want to
you
fund
got-
my
you got student
company.
loans?
Yeah, I owe
Fund my company.
30,000.
30,000 student loan
You can turn $500 into 30 G's in a year?
in a year.
No, not a year.
Not me. No.
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 What?
Well, maybe we could pay off my
Not
car.
30 grand.
Can he borrow $11,000?
No.
What if I said, "Hey Ed, I want to pay off my car. I owe 4 G's by the end of the year with $500." Is
But
that
what's a year?
You
Like,
understand what
is that-
that is, right?
is that
I mean, you
reasonable?
understand that's taking $500 and multiplying how many times?
Eight
I
times?
Almost
I was
10
told there'd
times.
be no
Almost
math.
I did that with 2 stocks
Okay, yeah.
in
Wait,
a month
sorry,
and a
sorry.
half, but that doesn't happen every day.
Okay,
okay?
let's-
Okay, so that's a little ambitious then.
Let's get a little specific here
Could
because
I
I have
go
a.
to-
Sorry, go ahead.
Could I make $2,000 and take a vacation?
You could potentially make $2,000. Yes. Here's the thing: the more money you want to make, the more riskier that you're going to be taking.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay.
And
So if I was like doing the least risky stuff, that $500 could turn into $700 in a year. No problem.
Let's say this: the market's return on about every 7 years, the market return doubles your money. So it takes 7 years to double your money if you just bought into the stock market on average. So you're wanting me to double your $500 in a year. It's very difficult to do. I mean,
well, why are we doing this? I'm just kidding.
Well, but here's the unique
Ed,
thing.
when you were on the
This is-
dance,
this is
if
the point
if
why
I
we're
have
doing this.
10,000,
Did you say on the dance floor you would do this?
We're on the threshold of the pot stocks turning people into a bunch of millionaires. That's why we're here. We're not getting into the pot stocks. That's what we need to start aiming for. It's a new area that is going to turn a lot of people into millionaires.
Okay.
Guarantee.
So between now, so let's get specific about this. Between now and our next episode, we're going to set up our accounts. Me and Jonesy are going to get our accounts. We're going to put $500 into it. You are going to guide us where to invest in. And then when we update everybody in the next episode, like this, okay, this is all the stuff that we put our money into, and on your advice.
Okay. And
Well, yeah. How about
questions here?
Sure. Well, what I would like to see is, so we open these accounts, and maybe we have questions about how to open it. Maybe we had issues with how to open it, and we bring those in and explain those to the listeners as well, because maybe it's not easy. I don't know. I think
he can walk us through that, like kind of off camera, and then we'd be like, okay, this is what we learned, and we can
and
update
this was
them.
the snag that we had, and this is how you can get through it.
We-
Also, we should pick a stock that we want to that you and I think that would be, not talking to Ed, just on our own. We think that there's a stock.
Do I tell it now?
I would like. Can we talk about it now?
Maybe you ought to pick 5.
5
You
big,
think-
like, 'cause what I want you-
companies, like big companies.
Any company, and for what reason? I would say pick an industry that you understand or that you believe in, and ideally pick a smaller company.
Well, I years ago, my friends all worked at Starbucks in high school, and they're like, "This is supposed to be as big as Coca-Cola, and you should invest in stocks." And I was like, "What's stocks?" And those people did very well with Starbucks over
2008. It was like about $5 a share.
and it was. I mean, I would have got in on that in like 1990, and that seemed like I should have done that. And I always think of that scene in Defending Your Life.
The problem is people
Swiss do the time. The Swiss do the time.
People don't understand the stock market, and that's what this is going to all be about too. Not just doubling your money, but understanding a little bit of how the market operates, so you have confidence to put some money in it and believe that you know what you're doing.
Okay, and then you have what's your stock?
Well, I like Wendy's. How come everyone laughs when I say?
Well,
I like
because
Wendy's?
there's nothing wrong with
they
that.
had like horse
But
meat rumors.
If,
like
if
in
you
the
want to turn your
80s.
$500 into a lot of money, Wendy's is not the place. You might get a 10 or 15% return on that year on year, which
All
isn't
right.
bad.
You're gonna
I'm
have
not
to
saying
eat a lot of
bad,
Wendy's
but that's
on your
probably
own.
You had
top.
that chili, man. It's good chili.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
I
not
had the
real
chili.
That is not good for your body.
Can I just say, I find this to be another alluring quality of Ed, is that he's a regular guy. Like I don't trust, if you were trying to give me investment advice and you were wearing a suit and a tie, I would be less inclined to trust you. But Ed works, you're a blue collar guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And you're like one of the people. You're like my hometown is people like you.
Sure.
So to me, I have a trust in you for
listen.
this, and I think that's what's very special about this, and this is why I'm giving you my money, and why I'm going to go with. I mean, I think Wendy's is a bang up investment, but
here's the question for
probably
you guys. If I tell you to buy something, are you going to jump on it when I tell you? Are you going to do what I say?
Oh,
when
absolutely.
I say put an order in, because you're not going to know how to do
Wendy's?
this. No, put an order. Yeah.
So we also have to look.
No, put an order in to buy a stock at a certain price. Right. You're going to put that order in at that certain price as in a good.
Will you do it?
Order.
We have to do that via Twitter, right? Do you?
I can.
You can say,
tell you
"Hey,
exactly what to
Jonesy,
do."
you should be like
I can send it
Jonesy,
to you
and
through text
and
say,
do that to Jason. You're going to
guys,
follow some of this.
I mean,
too?
I've got a couple of stocks I can tell you. I've got price targets on some of these pot stocks.
Wait.
now.
So this has got to be for episode 2.
You're
Price
right,
target,
yeah.
how to do a
Get
price
ahead.
target, how to do an order. I don't know any of this shit.
Very tough. Yeah, you got to.
No, listen. Between episode 1 and episode 2, Ed's going to set us up with our account. We're going to like basically get our training wheels on.
Bring in
we're
some
gonna,
stocks that we think we would
we're gonna
normally
pick
invest
some
in.
stuff.
He's going to say this is bullshit.
And then by episode 3, our $500
The
are gone.
truth is, you can make money. You can make money off every stock out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. You just got to buy at the right time, and it's not about buying high or low.
So it is February 11th. The stock market on Friday, or all of last week, had a crazy rough week, and that was bad.
And my blog predicted it.
And you're
not how big. Don't get me wrong. That was
wait. You got a
dramatic.
blog?
I got a pot stock blog on Facebook.
Oh, why don't we just read that?
Yeah, we don't have
to
drive
show up and do
to
this.
drive all the way to Hollywood.
This is great. Episode 2.
Well,
read Ed's blog.
It's to get people to see that what I'm predicting and how it's a day by day thing. This is not like I'm going to predict what it's going to do next week. You don't do that. You predict it based off of what's happening right in front of you. And if you see a change, you have to act quick, man. And that's what you.
Okay,
guys
so we're going to set this up
to.
so you can tweet at us and like tell us that, and we'll act quick, and it'll be
yes.
And we will be in charge. You're in charge of our money. Ed's got our money. We're giving Ed our money. That's your $500 there. Here, give it to him.
Give him this jar.
I gotta give him this. I'm
gonna write you a check.
Are these real?
These are real. Okay, so we have $1,000 just sitting on this table. Okay, so Ed, we're giving you our money. There.
And how much do I charge you guys?
What? Nothing. All the fame and success you're gonna get from this podcast.
You're gonna sell a book someday, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, you're gonna be the next Bill O'Mitchell. What was his name?
Okay.
Bill O'Neill.
William
O'Neill.
Bill O'Neill. Yeah.
Bill O'Neill.
Dude, you're gonna have your face on a book, and you're gonna be like this to us.
I don't want your money. You're my friends.
What? No, you're gonna make money with our money.
I don't want to. I don't want any money.
Dude, I am willing to give you. I am willing to give you some really nice steak dinners when we're doing well. When we're doing well.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Okay. So Ed's gonna make us successful.
Good. All right. So then we'll move on from here. We'll see you in episode 2, Ed. Hopefully we'll have accounts open, and we'll have some ideas on where we think we should invest, and then you can set us straight, or maybe we nail it. I don't know.
Maybe we give Ed maybe all these episodes have like a Ed's final word, like he gives like a moment of advice right at the end for people. How's that for a format thing?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give you some advice right now.
Give us the
Just like a
final
little
word,
snippet.
ladies and gentlemen. Ed, the final word.
My final word is this: never, ever put a bunch of money on penny stocks, and never, ever fall in love with a stock. If you do, you will lose everything you put in there.
That was 2 final words, but that's okay.
I liked it though. I feel you.
Yeah.
There's no rules here with me.
You could have inserted stripper for stock there as well.
Yeah, the stripper for stock thing is great. There's ups and downs and legs open. I think I don't remember what it was.
There's so much. You guys have no idea how much there is to talk about. And
dude, this is great.
If you don't want to do the work, then then you need to follow someone that does do the work. There's no doubt.
Well, dude, guide us to the Ed promised land. We're in, and we didn't eat any of the popcorn I made.
Damn it.
Okay, so we're going to sign off. This is the end of our first episode. We're not exactly sure when our second episode is, but we're going to get back together and do this. And
what's the agenda for round 2?
You know what? I think when we're done, we'll cut. We'll talk about this, see how this turned out. But I think once we're set up, then I think next episode you're going to tell us what to invest in. Like you point us what to invest in, and we'll be live right there and be like, okay, let's buy the stocks. We'll buy the stocks.
I'll do that for sure.
Wait, where are you going? The show's still going.
Oh, it is?
Well,
yeah,
sit down,
get Jonesy. Jesus.
So yeah, let's do that. I'll have at least because you only have $500. Maybe I'll have 1 or 2 stocks for you to put your orders in.
I'm not a big math guy, but together we have 1,000.
Okay, yeah, that's right. But you will have separate accounts, just so you know.
That's true.
But he may have different stocks for each of us too. He may have like several.
Yeah,
ideas.
are you going to gamble with us? Like, let's send Ficus there and let's
there's
send
no
Jonesy
gambling.
there.
Actually, I would probably treat your money better than mine, because when you get cocky, you start to do stupid things, and that's one of the segments I'd love to do with you guys.
That's also
you got
just
some
like
stories about you being a moron.
That's a strip club thing again too.
If you're not disciplined, you're done.
Okay, then that's the other thing. You have to tell us your worst stock move. Next time we talk, you have to tell us your worst move.
I got creamed by Krispy Kreme.
You got.
That's going to be the name of an episode.
And Krispy Kreme's a strip club? Is that a strip club?
Going right back to the strippers.
Okay, that's it. That's at the end of our first episode. Thank you guys all for listening. We have no idea who you are, but
subscribe to the Ed's Got My Money podcast.
And what's your Twitter? I'm at dficus.
Funny Jones for Instagram and Twitter.
I don't do
any of that
my
shit.
Twitter, I don't.
Okay, we're gonna start.
I don't tweet too much.
We got to start. Ed's Got My Money Twitter, so you can do it. So we're gonna start a Twitter account for Ed. And this was great. Thank you, Jason and Holly, for coming by.
Thank you guys.
Let's have a nice Sunday night beer. And
I'm sorry I didn't get too excited here.
Should I press record now?